This is Rugby Merlin and welcome back to the channel. So it's 2025. Hope you had a good New Year, Christmas, etc. Hope the New Year is treating you well. And a big year ahead of us in terms of international rugby. I'm going to have a look and see what we can expect. It does seem like a little bit of a reset in terms of, I think things might switch up a little bit this year. We'll have to wait and see, but a lot of things on the table, a lot of things to play for this year. Some big tours, some big matches in the offing, and excited to have a look at what the schedule is offering us. So first up, the Six Nations comes around so quickly after the break, the winter break, and that's what's hitting us first. It's going to be a really tightly contested one this year, and there's added skin in the game for a lot of these teams and a lot of the players individually, because of course the Lions tours this year comes around once every 4 years, which is crazy really. Big season for the players up north in the Northern Hemisphere. Players that have a chance to break through, but also players who've been playing really well for the last few years. They have to hold their ground and make sure they get that, not just a tour selection, but the test selection too. Farrell is in charge, so he's passed on responsibilities as in terms of head of Ireland to Easterby. So we'll have to see how that goes. Other than that, the coaches remain intact. Gatland in Wales is hanging on by the skin of his teeth. That's my country, if you didn't know. So I think he's basically cooked, but maybe he'll go out with a final fling, a final hurrah. But the Six Nations is going to be a really good one this year. As I said, a lot to play for. But it does affect the summer tours. Last year, the summer tours were some of the best matches of the year, I think, particularly the Ireland mini tour. They only played 2 matches, but they were exceptional matches. South Africa taking the first and Ireland taking the second. But that really was the highlight of the year for me. Ireland going down to South Africa and playing them. This year, not so much. So after the Six Nations, England in the summer are going to Argentina. And you have to bear in mind that this is while the Lions are over in Australia. So taking place pretty much the same time. So after the Six Nations, this is a bit of a lull in the international calendar. England go down to Argentina, Italy and South Africa, providing some warm-up games. South Africa playing Georgia as well as part of their warm-up for the Rugby Championship, which will come after these summer internationals and the Lions tour. Wales go to Japan, which will be good. I might get to see a couple of games there. Scotland, Pacific Islands, so I guess in Samoa, Tonga, but they do have a test confirmed against the Maori All Blacks, which will be great. Ireland going to Georgia and Romania. Ireland, Georgia, Romania. So that's great for those countries who've been performing really well in kind of the second tier international scene for a long time. And France going to New Zealand. Now there's been a bit of controversy because France, even though they don't have players obviously involved in the British and Irish Lions, they still, Galtier, as he did last year in Argentina, is sending a kind of a development squad to New Zealand. So New Zealand taken that as a bit of a snub, and rightly so really, I can't really argue with it. France and New Zealand have had some fantastic tests over the years, and it's a shame really that maybe we won't get that kind of level of intensity this year when they do play each other. One of the greatest tries ever, and I think the time before last, they got beaten at Eden Park in the early 90s, and the try from the end of the earth or something as crazy is called. Probably Serge Blanco was involved, but there's such a storied history between those two international sides that it is a bit of a shame that France are not going to be at full strength. But there we go. New Zealand, I think, are upset, and rightly so. So we'll see how that goes. And then the Rugby Championship will follow. Now, I think South Africa are going for 3 on the bounce. So that would be a fantastic achievement because they suffered quite a lot over the past decade, really, in terms of New Zealand dominating. But they've definitely wrestled their way back on top now. But also Reza, the new head coach of New Zealand, I think he had a good kind of introduction into his role last year. He didn't win every game, but New Zealand definitely looked pretty solid. They had some good wins, England, Ireland, England 3 times. They beat them last year. But he's going to look to build on what he started last year. So South Africa have a couple of home games against, who they have first at home? Australia. Australia are going to be coming off the back of the Lions series. So that's going to be really fiery. And, Australia are going to be, fighting fit after a good few games. And then South Africa go to New Zealand. So both of their tests are going to be played in New Zealand. So the Rugby Championship's looking really tasty this year. And South Africa are really going to be desperate to win that. And, put the seal. 3 in a row is always nice. So then we have the autumn internationals. Not a lot of those have been confirmed, but you can expect the Southern Hemisphere teams to come up north again, and they're always great. You know what I mean? To see, it's like an extra World Cup kind of every year almost, with those teams, the Southern Hemisphere and the Northern Hemisphere teams playing each other, which was a rarity not so long ago, but we're lucky enough to get it every year. So very much looking forward to the Six Nations. Lions positions up for grabs, and going to be looking to see what players put their hand up. Then we have the Lions tour. Plus we have a lot of international games between the development squads. Onto the Rugby Championship then, and then straight into the Autumn Internationals. So a very full calendar again. Very excited to see how it goes. So let me know what games and what series you're looking forward to, and I will see you there. So thanks very much for watching, and cheers, bye.